Hey everyone, in this video, we're going to talk about how to increase your placement rate with one simple procedure that you're likely not doing, okay? Guys, in final expense telesales, your placement rate is incredibly important. If you go to any final expense call center anywhere in the US, they track placement rate because it is the #1 driver of profitability in anyone's business. Yes, sales rate's very important, and that's an obvious indicator, but placement rate is something that is worked on in every single final expense telesales business out there, okay? Guys, we're dealing with seniors on a fixed income, and we need to be able to adapt to this demographic, and we need every edge that we can get when it comes to placement, okay? One thing that's helped us move the needle in placement that not a lot of agencies are doing out there is verifying routing and account number through a service that we use called GIACT, G-I-A-C-T. There's other businesses out there that do what GIACT does. It's just GIACT is the one that we use. We've been doing this for years. I found it absolutely helps with placement rate. I'm going to share a couple slides here and show you our backend and what these responses look like, so you can see for yourself just how much this helps. And if you're not doing this, this is something you should absolutely adopt in your business. Every final expense telesales agent should be verifying their client's banking information before they submit the application, okay? When we run the data on final expense application submitted with a positive verification, somebody who runs it through GIACT and gets a positive verification versus someone who doesn't do a verification at all, the placement rate discrepancy was big. You get your placement rate significantly higher if you run this verification, okay? And that's because this service catches the bad routing and account numbers in real time. So think about it. You're on the phone, you're taking an application, you get to the banking section, they're giving you their routing and account number, right? Sometimes our clients will transpose numbers. Sometimes they will look at their, at their account number or the routing number, and they'll see a 3 and say 8 because their vision may be a little bit off. Or maybe an agent will hear them wrong, or maybe there's a typo or you fat fingered a button or something. And just because of that, you go through a whole presentation, you do all this work, and then it doesn't draft because of a small error, okay? That's what we're trying to solve here, and that's what this does. And we found this happens on around 10% of applications, just under 10%, right? Imagine saving one application out of 10 simply because you took 1 minute to verify the routing and account number, okay? For many, that's $1,000 plus in commissions. It adds up. So I'm gonna show you guys some data in this video. So here's what it looks like in our technology. Whether it's in our CRM or in our Insurance Calls Direct platform, you can run a GIACT verification. Guys, you don't hear this talked about because it's hard for agencies to integrate. It's expensive, it takes development, but mostly there's compliance involved around using a service like that. For example, you have to read a disclosure on a recorded line. In our technology, you can't run a verification unless you're on a live call in order to meet all the compliance that's needed. So it says right here, I, Jeff Root, acting as your licensed insurance agent, must verify your bank account information to be correct. Do you, John Doe, authorize me to take reasonable steps to verify your bank information is valid? You click yes, get the routing and account number, and it gives you a result. Okay, that's it. That's all we're saying. It takes less than 60 seconds to do that. You're already collecting a routing and account number. So might as well do this now and make sure you have a real routing and account number. Because remember, 1 out of 10 times, it's not, the data is showing that 1 out of 10 times you're getting the wrong numbers. Just a transposed number or just a wrong digit, some sort of miscommunication somewhere is leading to that. It can be fixed. This is one of the things that fixes it, okay? Let me show you the data now. So this is our, the backend. This is my admin view looking at GIACT verifications. This is the data on around our last 1,000 verifications. GIACT, let me just explain what GIACT does. It's a banking validation procedure that indicates if a bank routing number or account number is valid. It also lets you know if it's a high risk account of, something that an account that had negative balances or, history of overdrafts, things like that. So we don't use that data though. We get it, but we don't use that to make our decisions because we didn't find enough correlation to stop an application if it's a high risk account. So yes, we show if it's a high or low risk account, but we still proceed. We just want to know if it's an accurate routing and account number. So we solely use it to determine if it's an active checking or savings account, and that's it. We don't use any of the other data they give us, okay? In this sample right here, if you look at number 4, we saved 82 cases that didn't have a valid routing number, okay? You go down, we saved 3 cases where the accounts couldn't have debits, okay? So the non-demand deposit account, so maybe it was a credit card check, a line of credit, a home equity, or a brokerage check, right? They'd probably just grabbed the wrong routing and account number, but we caught it. And you're able to flip these 3 into a real routing and account verification, okay? Same thing with these invalid routing numbers. These 82, we're able to flip it and get a verification from it, okay? And same thing with the 2 cases where the account number was wrong. So we're able to catch that before you get a notification from the life insurance company that, it didn't successfully draft, and now you have to call and go save that. Okay, guys, this is really important stuff. If you're not verifying banking information on every sale, you're leaving money on the table. Okay, every final expense agent needs to adopt this process. 100%, full stop. You have to adopt this process. It's that critical. If your agency doesn't have access to it, press them to. It's vital. It's really not that complicated to set up. Most agencies outside of Digital BGA are using Go High Level CRMs. They have APIs in there, and they can connect to an API like that. Ask them to get this. It's that important to your final expense telesales business to do that, okay? You saw how simple it was. I showed you screenshots of you just read the verification while on a recorded line, and you get a result, all right? If you want to take your placement rate to the next level and do what all the other final expense call centers are doing out there and verifying routing and account number, because it increases placement. If it increases placement for them, it's going to increase placement for you. It does for us. We see it. It's something that every final expense telesales agent needs to have, okay? You're going to make more money, and just make sure you implement this critical step in your process.